It's a new year and time to kick off, hopefully, a new series on the channel, depending on how well this video does. If I was in charge, in this case, Red Dead Online. As most of you know, Red Dead Online has seen better days, and over the past year, Rockstar has gone in a very interesting direction with Red Dead Online. Almost feels like they're neglecting the live online service mode known as Red Dead Online, and it leaves a lot of questions and concerns regarding the future of Red Dead Online. Does Rockstar intend to continue updating Red Dead Online going into 2022, or are they quietly sunsetting it, discontinuing live service, and leaving it to wither away slowly but surely till they shut off the game itself? Hypothetically, let's just say Rockstar decided to approach me and offer me the position of manager, director, head position of Red Dead Online's team with 1 year to turn Red Dead Online around if I want to keep my job. So this is obviously a hypothetical. Seriously doubt it'll ever happen, but that's part of the fun of this series if I was in charge. And basically, this is what I would do if I was in charge. And if you were in charge of Red Dead Online, what decisions would you make to help turn the game around? Feel free and let me know below in the comment section. The first thing I would do is ask Rockstar to assign me a team big enough to help me fulfill the mission of turning Red Dead Online around within a year. I know it wouldn't be as large as GTA Online's team, but this team can't be small. It can't be as small as it currently is because I feel like it's not a very big team, but I definitely need a decent sized group of developers and other individuals at Rockstar to help turn Red Dead Online around because I'm not a developer. I don't have those skills that they have, but I do have a vision as to what direction I think Red Dead Online needs to go. And I also see things that need to be done in order to fix Red Dead Online, quality of life improvements, because I've been playing this game for over 3 years now. So first off, I need a team under me, and hopefully those individuals will be Rockstar employees that are actually somewhat passionate about making content for Red Dead Online and also would like to see it turn around for the better. So this is a few things that I would do right off the bat. Then eventually we'll talk about some updates for 2022 that I have in mind. But this is at the very beginning, say January 2022 or February 2022, whenever I hypothetically become in charge of Red Dead Online. I would improve communication through the social medias for the community of Red Dead Online. I would go talk to the social media manager at Rockstar Games, whoever's in charge. They seem to be doing a better job with communicating when it comes to GTA Online. I would like to work with them in order to communicate better when it comes to Red Dead Online as well. So that's the first thing I would do. I would want to reassure Red Dead Online players and fans out there that Rockstar hasn't abandoned Red Dead Online, that we do have plans for it in 2022 and beyond. And one of the first things I would do is bring back the limited time clothing into regular rotation throughout the event weeks. So the event weeks is something I want to tweak and improve upon. It's something I have been critical of for quite a while now. Sometimes the event weeks are really good, sometimes they're not. I still get comments in my limited time clothing videos. I made 2 of them that are always asking about this clothing item, that clothing item, and it would be cool if we brought that limited time clothing back into regular rotation. So that's the first step. Now let's talk about 2022 and a roadmap. I know that's something that Rockstar doesn't do, but I feel like it is important to communicate better with both GTA Online and Red Dead Online fans. So I would work on a loose roadmap, nothing too specific. You obviously can't tell them everything you have planned for Red Dead Online going forward into 2022, but you at least want to reassure them that there's going to be some quality of life stuff happening. like patches to fix ongoing issues, as well as adding some content to hold Red Dead Online players over till the summer update, including new outlaw passes with additional clothing items from members of the Vanderlyn gang. Repackaged Red Dead Redemption 2 content like the horses and other items and clothing from Red Dead Redemption 2. I did do an ideas video about that a couple weeks ago. A new weapon maybe and more. I also want to restore the daily challenge streaks to 28 plus days. I don't think that Rockstar would go along with restoring the original payouts for gold, but at the very least, a lot of us have been asking Rockstar to at least restore the daily challenge streaks past 28 days. So that's one of the first things that I would do. Add 10 stable stalls and additional saddle slots to the stables. This is something we've been asking for a very long time now. We've only had 10 stable stalls since the beta, and we haven't had any additional stable stalls added or additional slots for saddles. We need at least 10 more stable stalls so we can buy more horses, and along with that, we need some more slots for additional saddles for those new horses to purchase. So that's one thing I would definitely do. Rework the benefits section so coupons make more sense, because all too often I will get benefit coupons that just I can't even use. Like case in point, the stable stall free coupons. I can't use these coupons because I'm already maxed out at 10 stable stalls. So they just sit there till the expiration date and then they wither and go away. And there's plenty of other benefit coupons that I've gotten that I can't use because I'm a veteran player. Things for the camp, which I already have, like fast travel, etc. Most of you get it. You go to the benefits coupon, you look through it, you find discounts for things that you can use. Then there's discounts for things that you already purchased. And then there's free items like additional stable stalls that you cannot use because you're maxed out at 10 stable stalls. So I would rework the benefit coupon section to make it more logical, and I would also have an additional reward for veteran players. So if you cannot use this particular coupon, then at the very least you should get some sort of a cash reward payout. This form of compensation for veteran players that already have these particular items that really can't use those specific benefit coupons would at the very least give them something in return, whether it's reimbursing that coupon for like a $25 or $50 or maybe $100. It's just a few more bucks in your pocket. And that way, at least those coupons aren't completely worthless to veteran players. Continuing with quality of life improvements, I would like to have done as soon as possible throughout what remains of the winter going into the spring of 2022. I want to add a passive mode while fishing, so that anglers can fish in peace on the lakes and the rivers of Red Dead Online without being targeted or getting an easy kill by tryhards and griefers. That way, whenever you're fishing, you know that no one's going to bother you because you're in passive mode. I also want to rework the persistent posse system by removing the backlog. That way, it would be easier to add people to your persistent posse whenever you form it. And once you disband the persistent posse, they would no longer be in your posse. Very similar to the way the motorcycle club system works in GT Online. Everybody would have their own persistent posse, but you would have the ability to join other players whenever they form it up. But just like with the MC system, the moment that the posse leader disbands the persistent posse, then everyone that was in the posse are no longer in that persistent posse. The backlog of the persistent posse and having the ability to be in up to 5 persistent posses is more trouble than it's worth, because all too often you find yourself having to kick people out of the persistent posse in order to add more people in. Then you kick them out, then you add more people back in. And then when it comes to being in the 5 posses, you're always having to leave a posse in order to rejoin another posse and then leave another posse. As you can see, it's just an endless, ridiculous cycle that can be done away with if we simply just copy pasta the MC system in GT Online and use that instead for persistent posses in Red Dead Online. Improving relocating camps to specific spots and regions throughout Red Dead Online. So you want to be down on the San Luis, you want to have a really good fishing spot, or you want to be right up in the middle of Big Valley, or somewhere that you really like being, and you move the camp right to Big Valley or to Gaptooth or out to the Heartlands. But when Crypt spawns in the camp, it's not exactly where you want it to be. Sometimes it's close by, sometimes it's on the other side of the Heartlands. It would be awesome if these spots were vacant at the moment and available, where you could just pull up the map and you could select specific spawn locations for the camps. That way you could get almost the spot you want, and if you don't have that spot available, you can simply just jump lobbies until that particular spot that you want in this region across Red Dead Online is available to move the camp to. That'd be really awesome and convenient for a lot of us that really don't like certain areas of, say, the Bayou. You'd rather spawn it on the Lanahatchee north of Saint Denis. But Crips decides to take your camp all the way into the middle of the bayou and the swamp where you really don't want to be. Relocating camps definitely needs a rework. More saved outfit slots. All too often I hear people complain about this, rightfully so, that they have all these awesome outfits, but because of all the great clothing, cosmetics, and customization options at your disposal, you want to make more clothing spots, more outfits. But unfortunately, you are limited in the wardrobe. So I would probably double the amount of outfit slots that we currently have. So not only would I increase the size of the stable stalls, as well as slots for the saddles at the stables, but I would also give players more outfit slots so they could create more additional outfits for their characters in Red Dead Online. Incorporating different lobby types. Now, a lot of these ideas I have, it doesn't necessarily mean Rockstar is going to sign off on them. I would like to believe that they would just give me carte blanche to have 100% control and, of course, 100% responsibility if all this falls through, as well as 100% blame, right? But one of the things I would very much like is Rockstar to implement different lobby types. We know from the very early days of Red Dead Online through the Red Dead Redemption 2 companion app, thanks to the data miners, that the original plan for Red Dead Online, very similar to Red Dead Redemption Multiplayer and GTA Online, was for Red Dead Online to have different lobby types. This is something that I would have redone, because a lot of players just want to be in a friend lobby or a posse lobby. You'd still have the public lobby, and I guess you would have to balance it very similar to the way it is in GTA Online. When they do business sales, you have to be in a public lobby for business sales. So when you do moonshine and trade sales, you would have to do those in a public lobby. But I would also like to add a hardcore PvP style lobby where players that are really into PvP can go into the PvP hardcore lobby and play against other PvP players. Now, there would be some caveats. Maybe it would just be strictly free game. Maybe the ability cards and Deadeye would be disabled. There'd be some things that would be unique about a hardcore PvP lobby. That's something I would have to discuss with my team and decide what would work best for the PvP players. Those that really want to PvP, not the tryhards and the griefers that use all the little shady tactics in order to win. That's just different lobby types I've had over the years that I think would be really cool for Red Dead Online. More vehicle customization in Red Dead Online. Now, this might have to be incorporated with an actual update. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But this is definitely something I would like to see. Now, we do have technically vehicles in Red Dead Online. The wagons, like the hunting wagon, the bounty wagon. I would like for them to add a bit more customization to them, the ability to put on some different paint jobs, maybe different metal types, different wagon wheel types, maybe even different horses you could purchase for the hunting wagon as well as the bounty wagon, maybe some additional upgrades to make the hunting wagon not fall apart so easily when it's in the middle of the woods when you're going around. That would be cool. I would also like additional vehicles to purchase that already exist, such as buggies. Once again, the ability to have a buggy, customize it, upgrade it, and select different horses that you can purchase for that buggy. And I would like to have buggy races. That would be awesome, similar to Red Dead Redemption 1. So you could have your own sweet buggy to ride around in free roam in Red Dead Online. And you could also use that buggy while racing in player versus player buggy racing. I would also have other wagons and stagecoaches that you could purchase at the stable and customize and once again upgrade, as well as horses you want to purchase and use specifically for these wagons, buggies, stagecoaches, etc. I also want to add boats, and this is the boats that already exist once again in Red Dead Online. The rowboat, canoe, even those smaller steamboats, the ability to customize them very similar to the other vehicles, paint jobs, different metal types, maybe even some upgrades to them so that you can use them for fun, just paddling or moving around the waters of Red Dead Online. I would even like to use these boats for fishing in Red Dead Online. And very similar to adding buggy races, I also want to add boat races to Red Dead Online as well. So that would be another mode you could add by including boats. That would be something that a lot of us have been asking for because we want our own vehicles. We want our own buggies, stagecoaches. We also want our own boats. So these are more items that we could add through the stable that we could go and purchase and customize and upgrade and use in free roam as well as specific races. And that's another thing I would like to do is when it comes to the horse races in Red Dead Online, I would add a new category where weapons are disabled because I just want a horse race without being in first place or in the top 3, and then some jerk off behind me blows me away with a double barrel shotgun because he doesn't like the fact that I'm in front of him. I just want to have legit horse racing with weapons disabled, so I would have a version of horse racing in the game that you could play that would allow players to do horse racing without the damn weapons. Same thing goes for buggy as well as boat racing. Another thing that I would bring over from Red Dead Redemption 2 that I mentioned before in my repackaged content ideas video a few weeks ago is the mini games from Red Dead Redemption 2, such as blackjack, dominoes, five fingers. These are mini games that have been in Red Dead Redemption 2 since launch. We did get Texas Hold'em a few years ago, but for some reason Rockstar has yet to give us blackjack, even though we do have blackjack tables around various bars in Red Dead Online, and we don't have dominoes or five fingers either. So I think that those are some mini games they could add to Red Dead Online for additional things for players to do, as well as fun factor. Now let's talk about a specific ammo type that I wish to see removed from Red Dead Online. Now this might be controversial to some, but I do not like the idea of explosive ammo being available in every single firearm in the game. So one of the things I would do as the person in charge of Red Dead Online is have the explosive ammo removed from all current firearms. Removed from the regular rifles, from the shotguns, from the pistols, the revolvers, the repeaters. You get the idea. All the explosive rounds would be removed from the game. However, we would bring over the explosive rifle from Red Dead Redemption 1. Now, obviously, this particular rifle would be expensive. It would not be a cheap item, but it would cost cash. That way, players would not have a pay-to-win scenario here. You could pay cash or gold for the explosive rifle, but it comes with some caveats. Very similar to the explosive rifle from Red Dead Redemption 1 and Red Dead Redemption Multiplayer, it's a single-shot explosive rifle, and you're limited to the certain amount of ammo you can have with you when it comes to the explosive rifle. I would probably cap it off at 10 ammos max. So 10 explosive ammos for the explosive rifle maximum you could have on your person. I think in a Red Dead Redemption Multiplayer and Red Dead Redemption 1, it was like 15 to 30. I think if you had the bandolier, it would double that amount. So the cap would be 10 explosive ammo that you would get for the explosive rifle. It's single shot. It's free aim, so you couldn't auto aim with the explosive rifle. And it would have a slow rate of fire similar to the original version of the explosive rifle. And the only way that you could make more explosive ammo is with an explosive ammo pamphlet for the explosive rifle. So that's how I would deal with the explosive ammo situation in Red Dead Online, because I just don't like the fact that it's in all these weapons. I would probably keep the incendiary rounds for the shotguns and probably the dynamite arrows for the bows, so I would just at least do that. But for all the other weapons in Red Dead Online, the explosive ammo would be completely removed in favor of adding a new weapon to the game from Red Dead Redemption 1 and Red Dead Redemption Multiplayer, the explosive rifle. Speaking of weapons, I want to see the elephant gun reworked because it's basically completely useless. I would make it to where you could use the elephant gun to one-shot big game animals without damaging their star rating. So if you come up against a big animal with the elephant gun, like a cow, a bull, ox, elk, moose, bear, alligator, it's a 3-star. You shoot it, it reduces it down to a 1-star rating. So I would rework the elephant gun to where you could also use it to take down big game animals while maintaining the 3-star rating for those animals. I would also probably improve it a little bit versus legendaries because it's really pointless against legendaries, especially since you can use all the other weapons in the game, like the bolt action, shotguns, the repeaters, pistols, revolvers, as long as you don't use the incendiary explosive rounds to take down legendary animals with relative ease. So I would definitely rework the elephant gun to make it a bit more useful than it currently is. So some other changes I would like to see done, I guess it revolves around the weapons and the item wheel and the lockers. So the regular lasso, once you have the reinforced lasso, is pointless, but unfortunately, you cannot simply just put the regular lasso in your weapon locker or have it to where you could switch between the regular lasso and the reinforced lasso. There are some items that you can do that with, like, for example, throwing knives as well as dynamite, fire bottles, etc. You have the ability to switch between those different types of dynamite, fire bottles, as well as throwing knives. I would like to either do the same thing with the lassos, so you could switch between regular and reinforced, or simply just put the regular lasso in your weapons locker. I would also do the same thing with the bolas because it's just a different cosmetic. It's practically the same bola. It just allows you to carry more bolas on your person. So I would also make them switchable where you just put them all in the same slot and where you can switch between all the different types of bolas cosmetic wise. And that's what I would do with the bolas. I would also store unused melee weapons like the knives and machetes in your weapons locker as well. Right now, we can only put the firearms and the bows in our weapons locker, but I would also like to put lassos as well as bolas, knives, machetes in the weapons locker too to make it even more useful. Now, when it comes to the items wheel, there's a lot of things you end up accumulating by looting bodies and going around the place that you end up not really using as much, or you feel like you're just overburdened, overstocked with, and it just sits there in your items wheel. I would like the ability for us to put those items that we don't really want, but we just want to store them away somewhere, like in the lockbox. That'd be kind of cool if we could put it back into the lockbox, or have a specific items locker either added to our camp tent along with the weapons locker, or maybe a future home if we ever get properties. That way we can put away the regular camera. What's the point in having both cameras when you already have the advanced camera or some other items as well? I would like to be able to put these specific items away in either your camp lockbox, an items locker. That would be awesome, such as tobacco products, alcohol products, various food items, tonics, etc. Just store them away. I would like to come up with some sort of way to do that. I don't know if it's possible to rework the lockbox where you could just actually add things back to the lockbox. I mean, you could take plenty of things out of the lockbox and items get put into the lockbox from the catalog, or like reward items from Rockstar. But it'd be cool if the lockbox could at the very least work both ways. But if we couldn't make that happen, then at the very least we could simply just add a new items locker to the camp, as well as future properties in Red Dead Online. Now let's talk about, I guess, update ideas that I would have for 2022. I would say we need probably 2 updates, maybe a smaller update revolved around Halloween, somewhere in between the summer update as well as the December update. Now, this really depends on what the team at Rockstar's already been working on. We know that there's a data code out there for the properties. We've done that for over a year now, so there has been some work done on properties in Red Dead Online. Whether or not that's actually been finished or close to completion, I don't know, but that's definitely something I would focus the team on, is getting the properties good to go, because we've been wanting properties for quite a while now. And shout out to McDizzle. Check out his channel, check out his video. He did do a really good video going over some similar data mining that's been done regarding the ability to finally interact with the Davies twins when it comes to selling horses to them. And that's something I would also like to have completed as well, because in the tutorial, as most of you know, the Davies twins were supposed to set up their shop in Red Dead Online. And we've been wanting the ability to sell horses for the longest time, whether it's our own horses so that we could actually get something back instead of discarding them, especially since we spent cash and gold on them. The ability to break in and sell wild horses as well as NPC horses. I did do like a Wrangler's Roll idea video about this some time ago. So there's definitely coding revolved around selling horses or forged documents. Once again, check out McDizzle's video for more. And also did a video about property ideas based around the data mining information we had when it comes to properties in Red Dead Online. So those are 2 things that could make, for potential updates in their own right to the game, and add, more activities and more content that the community has been asking for. For the summer update, I think we at least need one new role. I don't know what that would be, whether it's a Wrangler role, a lawman role, a prospector role, or something else entirely that Rockstar's already been working on. So I would like to have at least one new role. Along with the new role, we could also add at least one expansion to a pre-existing role, like a trader expansion. There's been rumors that we're getting a trader expansion for the longest time. So that would work really well with a new role to something else to work with there. Or eventually like an expansion to the collector role, the naturalist role, the moonshiner role. As long as there's also a new role or a couple new roles to go with that, I'm totally fine with that being part of an update. I also want at least one new horse breed added to the game because we haven't had a new horse breed added in quite a while. And the last new horses we got were basically new coats for the Turkmens. The Turkmen's one of my favorite breeds in the game, and I do like the coats that they added, but that was a year ago. So we definitely need some new horses for Red Dead Online. I would also like at least one new weapon. I don't know what that new weapon would be. It would also depend on what they've been working on over at Rockstar, as well as new clothing, new hats, etc. I also want to see the progress on the Land of Opportunity story, because obviously that story is not complete. A lot of Red Dead Online fans have been wanting to know what becomes of Jessica Leclerc and Horley. We still have one final antagonist out there, and she needs to be dealt with one way or the other. So I would definitely try to get the Land of Opportunity storyline wrapped up in either the summer or December updates, depending on the progress that's already been made to the Land of Opportunity story missions. We obviously need new outlaw passes added with the summer update. My idea for like a spring patch would be quality of life improvements we've already talked about, along with at least one or two outlaw passes to at least give content for the players to focus on for a few months, at least two, maybe three outlaw passes incorporated into that patch update. So it would give at least something for players to focus on while they're playing Red Dead Online, patiently waiting for the summer update to drop. So with the summer update, you have a new role, an expansion to a pre-existing role, a new horse breed, new weapon, clothing, maybe even the conclusion of the Land of Opportunity story. If not in the summer, maybe in December. Maybe that update would revolve around horses, a Wrangler role like we talked about, maybe even properties, unless we leave the properties for the December update, depending on the progress once again. And, of course, new passes for players. Maybe not Outlaw Pass. Maybe we change the name again, because we've had Outlaw Passes, we've had Quick Draw Clubs. Maybe it's time for a new pass. And I jokingly came up with an idea called the Redemption Pass, which would, I guess, be a redeeming pass for Rockstar games, a much better pass, similar to how good the passes were with Outlaw Passes 1 and 2. It's kind of started going downhill after that, so I would improve the passes going forward. I would also have Halloween-themed content, Halloween Pass 3, which would be much better than Halloween Pass 2 was. I would bring back the All Hallows Call to Arms. And I would hope that maybe by now, after 3 years, that there has been some work done when it comes to bringing zombies over to Red Dead Online, because that was one of the most popular story DLCs of all time, Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. Rockstar did a fantastic job over a decade ago with the zombies, and it really makes you wonder why they haven't been able to copy pasta those zombies from Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare to be reused, repurposed for Red Dead Online, obviously with graphical improvements. So yes, I would definitely like to add Undead Overrun to Red Dead Online. As another Halloween event, I would like to add Undead Overrun to Red Dead Online, featuring the return of the zombies, incorporating the various abandoned towns and cemeteries as well as graveyards. Those would be perfect locations for Undead Overrun in Red Dead Online, so that's something I would obviously want to do. I would also like to have limited time cosmetics for you to purchase at the stable stalls for your horses. I would like for them to add more cosmetics, like eventually maybe like a war paint for horses and characters. That would probably work really good with a Wapiti Native American type update somewhere down the road. But war paint would be awesome. Maybe some scar cosmetics for our horses. And the Flaming Hoof cosmetics that were the Hell Horses and the All Hallow Call to Arms. That would be a cool cosmetic that we could purchase throughout the Halloween season to put on our horses as well. And I would also like to see a unique horse added throughout the Halloween season, or maybe a unique horse for each season. Maybe even use the horses of the apocalypse, war, famine, pestilence, death, the unicorn, etc. It would just be awesome if we had unique items that were seasonal that you had to purchase throughout the season, or you had to do certain things in order to unlock and purchase those particular unique items, like a unique horse, in order to add to your stable. So a unique seasonal horse would be cool for the Halloween season. And I would also eventually like to get the creator mode added to Red Dead Online so that players in the community could create their own races as well as their own showdowns, gun rushes, call to arms, etc. This is something that is a major pro for continuing to add content to GTA Online over the years, because it's created by the community itself. And they have made some awesome races as well as LTSs in GTA Online over the years. And I think that there are creative minds in the Red Dead Online community that would make some fantastic races, showdowns, gun rushes, call to arms, and other modes for players to enjoy with the Rockstar creator. I would also like to see the Rockstar editor added to Red Dead Online too, because that's something else that a lot of players enjoy using in GTA Online, the Rockstar editor, where we could like make our own really awesome, epic screenshots, machinima videos, or funny spaghetti western types. That would be great to have both the Rockstar editor and the Rockstar creator added over to Red Dead Online. Now, my vision for a December update, once again, all this is up in the air. It really depends on the progress that's already been made on previous projects that the team at Rockstar has been working on for Red Dead Online. So that's just something I'd have to sit down with the team and go over, and then come over our game plan of the best way to get a really good summer update as well as a really good fall December update out in 2022 with things that have already been worked on. So what I would like for a December update is something else that a lot of people, including my good friend Kane, has been asking for in Red Dead Online. Heists are robberies in Red Dead Online, actual legitimate robberies. For example, there'll be 2 steps to this type of update. I would want the ability to rob stores like general stores, doctors, any store in the game. You could go and you could rob, but it would come with a 24 in-game penalty. You'd only get like a few bucks in your pocket. The law would be after you. You'd probably get some dishonor points. You would get a bounty, but it would be an activity for players to do. Is if they want to be a black hat, if they want to be a no good, dirty robber and thief, they'd be able to put on a mask, go into these stores and rob the shopkeepers. They don't get to shoot them or kill them, but at the very least they could rob them and have a getaway, and maybe there's additional rewards that you can get in the rewards section by doing a certain number of robberies and escaping the law a certain number of times. I think that having free roam robberies would be awesome. But like I said, there has to be penalty for it. You couldn't use that specific shop or store for at least 24 in-game hours. Along with the stores, I would like to have the ability for us to rob bank tellers at the various banks. No, not a big-scale bank robbery. That comes in just a little bit. But, you know, at the very least, you go up to the bank teller and you rob them. The same thing as the other stores. You have to get away. You get a wanted level. You get a bounty, etc. I would also like the ability, similar to Red Dead Redemption 2, where Arthur can go up to NPCs and rob them, or rob people on horseback, or rob people on stagecoaches, as well as stealing horses like we talked about already and selling them to the Davies twins, perhaps even stealing buggies and wagons and stagecoaches and selling them to the fences, just like Arthur Morgan can do in Red Dead Redemption 2. Now we get to the heist, and this is something a lot of us have been talking about for a long time now. We want to have heists in Red Dead Online. Similar setups to the way it is with, for example, I would say the best example is probably the casino heist and the Cayo Perico heist. But you want some options, you want some approaches. But we want several of these heists added, like the original heist for GTA Online. I would have, for example, a small bank robbery, then eventually a big bank robbery, a passenger train robbery, as well as like a stagecoach, like a military convoy robbery, where, say, the army is escorting these wagons. Maybe they have gold in it, maybe they have silver or some other precious bearer bonds or raw materials. No, not Capitelli, but maybe even like a riverboat robbery, or maybe even a heist in Guarma could be a future heist. That'd be awesome. I would like for us to come up with ways to use Guarma as well, even if it's for like PvP modes or horse races or a future call to arms. I think that Guarma could be used for various modes. But yeah, I would like to add heists and robberies to Red Dead Online as a hypothetical December 2022 update, if it's possible. But along with this update, you would also have the standard other content, a new horse breed, as well as at least one new weapon, new clothing, new hats, etc. And of course, new passes, perhaps even like a Christmas holiday pass, along with a winter snowflake style horse cosmetic. And once again, similar to Halloween, another unique horse or unique seasonal Christmas holiday themed items that you could purchase throughout the holiday season that you can't get during any other time of the year. So that's pretty much what my plan is for a year. If I was put in charge by Rockstar, once again, hypothetically, most likely never going to happen. That's what I would like to do, assemble a team together and work on a game plan to focus on communicating better with the fan base and getting the limited time clothing items out there on a regular rotation. Once again, improve the event weeks and, of course, quality of life improvements that we talked about. Better updates for Red Dead Online in 2022 and hopefully beyond, depending on whether or not we succeed in turning Red Dead Online around in 2022. If, once again, I was in charge of Red Dead Online. Most likely, that's not going to happen. However, if anyone at Rockstar managed to stumble across my video or any of my ideas videos or thoughts videos, you're welcome to use them. That's one of the reasons why I put these ideas and videos out there, is the hope, the dream that maybe it'll reach somebody at Rockstar and they'll see what I have to say and maybe not use all my ideas, but at least look at them and say, you know what, some of these ideas are all right, or maybe most of the ideas are really good, and these are some things we should consider doing for Red Dead Online. So that's one reason why I actually did this. But for the record, I'm not against an offer for like a one-year contract with you, Rockstar. I would sign an NDA, and I guess I would have to retire my channel. But if it was for the purpose of hopefully improving Red Dead Online, I'm willing to take one for the team, especially if it's a reasonable paycheck and you do give me some degree of free reign. I realize I have to coordinate with other departments and the people upstairs and get things signed off on, but I'm willing to give it a chance if the pay is right and if I can work from home. Hey, it's the age of the internet. People have been working from home since 2020, and I have good internet. I have a webcam. I could coordinate with the various departments over the internet. So I have email, so I can email people back and forth or DM people that are part of my team at Rockstar. So it could work, right? I don't have to move to New York and pay high taxes or move across the pond to the UK or to California, where people are currently fleeing because taxes are too damn high. I could just stay at home and still be in charge of Red Dead Online. But in all seriousness, I realize that's not going to happen. But at the very least, Rockstar, I ask that you please, if someone at Rockstar is actually coming across my videos, my ideas playlist, my thoughts playlist, there's a lot of Red Dead Online videos there that I would love for you to watch and take notes on and maybe use some of my ideas and thoughts to help improve Red Dead Online, because you've done a terrible job over the past year. Since the bounty expansion all the way down to present day, it's just been bad. And Red Dead Online obviously needs someone else in charge. Why not me? Now, it would be nice if I was at the very least given a thank you, credit from Rockstar Games if they were to use my ideas and videos to improve Red Dead Online, or a nice little paycheck, maybe a t-shirt. But anyways, I want to know your thoughts, your views, your opinions regarding this new series I'm hoping to continue with if I was in charge of Red Dead Online. What did you like? What did you dislike? How would you run Red Dead Online if Rockstar came to you? Yeah, you. And put you in charge? Would you go with a similar strategy that I went with, or would you go in a completely different direction? As always, welcome below in the comments section.